Hello and welcome to the Galloping Gurus, your home for daily horse racing analysis, race previews and expert insights. If you enjoy our content, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an update. Or for even more in-depth analysis, join the Galloping Gurus membership club at gallopinggurus.com, where you'll receive our exclusive race analysis before the markets even open, giving you access to our thoughts ahead of the day's racing. It's all about getting that value, and if you get it the day before, then you'll certainly be getting exactly that. Ciao, ciao.
Hello.
Hiya, mate. How you
Hi.
doing? You alright? All
Yeah.
good?
Certainly am, yeah, you?
Not too bad. Not too bad, mate. I've just finished off Lingfield and them today for tomorrow, so yeah, just sort of see what you're thinking. Should we start Lingfield?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. You know, I really wanted to find some things that were going to draw me to Lingfield tomorrow, but well, we'll go through them anyway. In the 230, I've written Crazy Plan was quite well backed. First time in a handicap went up against Luan, who was seemingly well handicapped and heavily backed herself as 13-8 favourite. The fact Crazy Plan really put it up to Luan was a credit to herself, and she's probably fairly handicapped, even with the extra £3. Luan didn't exactly give the form a boost last time out for a new trainer, but I think it was D-Day 2 starts back for James Ferguson, and he's just moved yards, so could take a bit of time to warm up. Anyway, she's receiving plenty of weight for age in here, has a good draw. I'm hoping they will be positive with her again, and the 10 furlongs could suit. Forecast to be 9-2, wouldn't be too bad. I said Shifra won a classified last time out, but the race is working out fairly well, so interesting to see how he gets on the poly track. The other one that was very smallly interesting was this Warnham Bull. I just said it'll be interesting to see if the money arrives after 228-day break. Of course, I think most of her eye-catching runs have been here at Lingfield, but the one that I would have thought had a bit of a chance for the Barbary Lions was Crazy Plan. But I don't know if you had any thoughts on the race.
Yeah, I think if Crazy Plan runs the same race it did last time, it will win. There's no two ways about it for me.
Yeah.
Whether she does run the same race is obviously the question mark. But on that form, I think it's good enough to win this. I think, yeah, Shifra did win a classified last time, and it was on the turf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Could run some sort of race, yeah, but I don't think it would be up to beating Crazy Plan if she turned up in the same form. And I think if she is around like 4-1 or so, I think that would be a fair enough chance to take on whether she can replicate that run.
Yeah, I mean,
because I think the Luan was in here. I think that would probably
it would win.
be a decent shout. And Crazy Plan was a little bit weak in the closing stages last time, wasn't she? She just sort of faded away after making quite a good move off the bend, and the drop back in trip could be ideal.
Yeah.
I think she'll travel in behind the pace. Obviously, we see them generally make their move off the bend here, and something similar to last time.
Yeah.
I think she might just have one or two too many gears for this lot. Like you said, Warnham Bull is interesting, having transferred back to Nick Littmaden.
Yeah, they're naughty, aren't they, that
Former
lot?
trainer. Yeah, he's quite a good trainer, isn't he, of all weather horses? And yeah, could run some sort of race with Luke on board, but it would be definitely Crazy Plan for me.
Yeah.
And I'd take a chance at the price that she can replicate that form of last run.
I mean, she's very lightly raced. I mean, you'd imagine that she probably can. I'm sure, didn't we hear something that possibly this horse was supposedly quite well handicapped? And I think the way that they punted her in that race against Luan certainly tells us that they obviously did think that she was well handicapped, and I think she probably is. I can't see why. Hopefully, she wouldn't run the same race, or even a little bit better. You never know. But yeah,
sometimes I just get the feeling with like horses when they're first time in a handicap
yeah,
that they're sort of almost eyeballs out that day.
right,
This may be the next time they don't necessarily run as well, which
yeah,
that's my only worry. But
yeah,
there's nothing to say she won't, and I think you're getting a fair enough price to find out.
yeah. If she was 4-1 or above, sort of thing. Yeah. Okie dokie. All right. Didn't have anything until then the 3:30. Just written a little bit down here for that, the 3:30. I've written Rastnet has rather been bumping into one on the regular, but she's been running well, particularly on the all-weather. I'd like to see her stalking the front couple rather than being held up out the back, as she's seemingly been given too much to do on multiple occasions. Drop 2 furlongs especially, and with a good pace to run at here, she could make her presence felt for a yard. In good form, back down in grade, good draw, and David Egan on. She's forecast to be 15-2. Distant Shore is just one of the dangerous 3-year-olds in here, and she fairly flew home last time over a mile at Nottingham, where the race was run in slow fractions, which wouldn't have helped her cause. There's forecast to be quite a bit of pace on here, and stepping up to 10 furlongs could be interesting for a 3-year-old receiving weight for age. She's forecast to be 4s. So that was my interests in here. I don't know if you've got anything that you're particularly interested in. I mean, obviously, there's plenty of other 3-year-olds in here that could jump out of the ground from anywhere.
I certainly thought this was probably the most competitive race of the day at Lingfield. I thought you could conceivably fancy about 6 of them, if not more. I thought Distant Shore was given too much to do last time by Dawson, which wouldn't be the first time he's done that this season, that's for sure.
You're not talking about one. Was the name Chalal? Is it?
Yeah, Salah. Yeah, I mean the ride. Needless to say, the ride at Epsom first time out this year was one of the worst you'll ever see.
He was,
if not the worst.
Yeah. Especially what he's done since. It just shows you he should have just won by miles.
Yeah, I mean, to get beat off that mark is criminal, really. And anyone watching the ride back will wonder what on earth he was playing at, but there you go.
Yeah.
I think Distant Shore's runs are pretty good. The Sandown run, good as well. Step up in trip could suit if she settles.
Yeah.
Definite chance. I wouldn't fancy Radiance after the break. I'd maybe look for her to run okay here and maybe improve on it next time.
Yeah.
But obviously with Billy on board, always a little danger. Spirit of a Fiend, I think gave a little positive mention at Sandown last time. She won quite well despite not everything going to plan, I don't think. She was quite a long way back that day.
Yeah.
So I could certainly see that running okay. Rastnet as well, like you said. Definite chance. And a little bit of an interesting one for me is She Commands, Rafe Beckett.
Yeah.
2 runs on the all-weather, 2 wins.
Yeah.
Then ran in the Royal Ascot handicap last time off of 86.
Yeah.
I mean, only finished 20th of 30, but
yeah.
More of the 2 wins on the all-weather. It wouldn't necessarily be one where I think, well, she'll win because she loves the all-weather. But if she did run pretty well and went close, I think there would be no surprise there. And you'd have to say that the all-weather she really does enjoy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
she
agree.
could conceivably run badly as well. I'm by no means expecting her to win, but just interesting that she's back on the surface.
Yeah, yeah. I think, I mean, like you said, we've mentioned a million in here, haven't we? And ultimately, I think, with so many 3-year-olds in there that could conceivably just step up. I think Distance
Yeah.
Shaw's probably the likely one of the 3-year-olds. Although what you've just said about She Commands, is very interesting as well. I think there's numerous ones in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would struggle to even rule out D-Day Diva. I mean, the 3 novice runs were all pretty good.
Yeah.
And then obviously ran in a handicap at Ascot last time where it didn't run particularly well. But, I mean, she's been off the track for a couple of months and she could step forward. So, yeah, I thought it was really competitive, really interesting. But
Yeah, it is.
I was struggling to come down on a strong selection there.
Yep. Okie dokie. Well, that's that one there. The 4 o'clock. I mean, I've actually got 4 written down here, and I probably could have had 6 written down here as well. It was one of them really. Restart ran well last time out. Tiger Beetle ran very well last time out in a handicap there. Charancy obviously went reasonably close last time out with Billy on, but that was in a classified event, so he had a little chance there and didn't put it to bed. But there are a few in here that are dropping from handicaps into the classified. Dottie's Star, I thought that if he was fully ready to go, I think the last time he won was in a classified here, and then has been running in handicaps since. So there was a few in here that I, ultimately couldn't come up with just one, I'm afraid. So I certainly wouldn't be putting up anything out for the race itself. But if you've got something that you're very keen on, then let us know.
No, that race didn't really interest me, if I'm honest.
No.
I
Okey-dokey.
struggled with it.
All right. 4:30, I thought it was fairly, I mean, from my perspective, I just thought Bone Marrow had a pretty good chance. I wouldn't bet it and I wouldn't bet against it. It was one of them really for me. Haven't got anything else to say about the race really.
No, yeah, like you, I think it probably will win. One at a price I'd probably just give a small mention to is Malachi's Wish.
Yeah.
Two novice wins, one of them at Newcastle, and the form of that Newcastle race, like really good, really.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Tiger Power was back in? Was it back in third?
Third, yeah.
I've lost where I am here. Hold up.
Yeah. Tiger Power in third. Borgina,
Yeah, the
fourth, Swan.
Yeah. There's winners. There were certainly winners in behind it. So I thought that run was good. Then ran in a competitive nursery at York, and not seen since. Running poorly at Sandown last time. First run this year. Obviously, would need to take a big step forward from that, but back on the all-weather.
Mm-hmm.
Not obviously. The Bone Marrows sets a pretty high standard, so I'm not saying he'll be winning it. But again, like bearing in mind it's going to be a short price favourite, and I think this one will be a big price. I thought this was of tiny interest to me.
Yeah.
Just to see, especially how it goes. Yard in relatively good form still, and yes, on pieces of form, you'd give it a chance of running well here, where I don't think there was too much else you could get excited about in the race.
No.
It was a cut and dry race where you thought the favourite probably should be winning.
Yeah, that's right. That's kind of what I thought, but ultimately I also thought, well, 13-8, I wouldn't be getting my wallet out for it, but I think it's probably got a fair chance, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. there wouldn't be too much point in backing it
No,
around that price. But like you say, you're not going into the race thinking, well, I'm worried about
no,
like pints in peace or something like that.
no, that's for sure.
He's found a relatively weak race for the grade, I think.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okie dokie. Well, on to the 5 o'clock then. I've written a little spiel out for this. Jackson Street is a course and distance winner off this mark, and he ran well last time out at Lingfield on the turf, behind Musical Soldier in a slightly better race than this. Back on the all-weather, should be competitive for a yard that won the race last year with Tommy Jakes, who sadly passed away this last year. So I think they may well have teed Jackson Street up for this race. It's forecast to be 11-2. I've put Gal and The Place in the Sun are a couple of 3-year-olds capable of taking a hand in the finish. And Twitch and even Ashford Hill on old form has a chance. Ashford Hill actually ran a much better race than it even looked last time out behind the Terry Kent horse, Mr. Mojito. Does seem to run his best races after a break. Now, look, by no means am I sticking this up with Isabel Chalmers on. I have been down this road in the past, but it doesn't mean that it's not completely out of the question that it could go in. But I actually kind of hope that Jackson Street does go well for him. Yeah, I think we didn't we get him in the winter time there, Max. Jackson Street. I think we did, didn't we?
Could well have done, yeah. I know I got him when he didn't win as well.
Did you? Yeah. The December beat closed courage. Yeah. Tricky race, but I obviously the 3-year-olds. Gal was slightly interesting, but the trouble is Hope Reagan. She had her first winner yesterday. So yeah, I was, and I'll tell you what, the Daniel Martlock Naines yard are all of a sudden hitting a bit of form. They're getting some winners in now, so I'll certainly be keeping an eye on them for a minute. Place in the Suns run wasn't awful last time out over the 6 furlongs, and Ash Lewis, I do like him as a jockey. That horse was doing all its best work in the finish there at a 0-55 on the turf. So yeah, that's all I really had to say about the race. I don't know if you've got a strong fancy in there. I haven't got a massive, not a massive fancy for it, but
No, I mean, I didn't think Hope looked terrible yesterday, to be honest.
no, she didn't.
I mean, I thought she gave it quite a good ride. It was quite a sensible one, and booted on.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see how she goes really as an apprentice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought Jackson Street must have a chance. The only worry with him is he sometimes pulls hard, and that wouldn't be ideal, obviously. But if he did settle, then he must go close here. Really, Seamus Cronin, decent jockey, plenty of experience, so that would be a decent booking. That was all I really thought about it, to be honest.
Yeah. Okie dokie. That's all right. We can move on to. You got anything for Carlisle? I've got some stuff written.
Got a very small one, yeah.
Okay. I've got nothing to the 4:15. I don't know if you've got anything prior to that.
No, my only one's in the 4:45, so.
Okie dokie. 4:15 is forecast to be favourite, so it's pretty obvious. I'm probably not going to tell anybody anything they don't already know, but Geneva, Jess Macy, Jason Hart ran a good race last time out when there was a fair bit of cash for it behind Hootie Who. Dropped a long way in the weights, and ground tomorrow forecast to be good. Last time out and good to firm. I think that the horse doesn't mind a little bit of juice in the ground, so ground might suit it a little bit better, and like I say, is reasonably well handicapped on old form, so that's forecast to be 5-1 actually, so not a horrible price. And that's it. Got nothing else to talk about really in the race. I wasn't jumping up and down about it, but that would be my interest in the race if I was to. So on to the 4:45.
Yeah.
I have written a little spiel out. So I've said that Talisman Time, I was interested in this horse after his run at York on the 27th of June, where the three horses finished well clear of the remainder. He ran an interesting race over the 2 miles at York and looked like playing a big part in the finish, but ultimately seemed to run out of petrol on the final furlong. Back at a mile 6 and in a slightly weaker race, he might be able to play a part in the finish at a forecast price of 5s. I've said Asia Force is a 3-year-old receiving weight for age, and this step up in trip looks like it may help. He has ran well twice now, over 10 furlongs and 12 furlongs, both times looking like the step up in trip will help. Forecast to be 7-2. So that was just my thoughts in there, mate. I'm assuming you've got something much more interesting than what I've had to say.
No, not really. I was interested in Talisman Times as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the drop back to a mile and 6 is probably what it wants. I think its better form is at that over that trip, really.
Yeah.
2 runs over 2 miles have been mediocre, really. Obviously pulled up once, and the 5th last time, I just thought the trip stretched it and made it look incredibly one-paced.
Yeah.
So dropping back in trip, stiff mile and 6. It was just 1 over a mile and 5 at Hamilton. Yeah, a little bit of
Small interest.
a little bit of digging the ground won't harm, I don't think. And the claim of taking 5 off, obviously rode it last time, I think, didn't they, or certainly the time before.
He did, yeah, both times, I think. I think it's both.
Yeah, so I thought that was no harm there. Thought it should run okay, really.
Yeah. There we go. Okie dokie. So then I've got nothing in the last race there.
No.
On to Nottingham then. I've got nothing till 7:15. Have you got anything?
No. From memory, I don't think I've got anything at all.
Okay. All right then. So the 7:15, I have said Diane Charesse is first time in a handicap and stepping up in trip, so could be interesting at forecast price of 4s. Her last race at Windsor was in a novice race and she was doing her best work in the finish, staying on strongly. A handicap mark of 63 might be within range for this grey filly. I've said Dare to be Different was given a very strange ride last time out at Yarmouth, where the jockey seemed to take her all the way to the back of the field and ultimately gave her no chance after that manoeuvre, although she stayed on strongly at the finish to suggest she will get the 1 mile 2 furlongs tomorrow. Interesting to see how she travels in the market, as she's forecast to be 10-1. Yeah, horrible ride there, and I certainly wouldn't be putting anything on the thing unless I thought it was particularly strong in the market and they were having a go at it. But this Diane Charesse did take my eye a little bit. The novice race that she ran in last time out, although beaten 9 1/4 lengths, she was never really put into the race. She was stuffed out the back, but was doing a little bit of good late work there. So yeah, that would be the horse I was quite interested in, Callum Rodriguez. So yeah, that was it. That was for that race, and that's it. I've got nothing else at Nottingham.
Yeah, not a bad little race, is it, that?
No, I don't think so, mate. Yeah, looks
like Like you said, Dare to Be Different up in trip. I couldn't be with it after the last day. It was one of the worst rides I've ever seen. Obviously, we spoke about Ray Dawson on Slough being possibly the worst. Well, this is almost rivaling it, really, the last day, but less said about that, the better.
Yeah. Okie dokie. There we go. So on to Hamilton.
Yeah.
I've got nothing in the first 5:30. 7 o'clock. I've written a little bit of a spielie out for 7 o'clock. I've said that El Matador has been running well in good races this year. Last time out in a class two.
He's a non-runner.
Oh, he's a non-runner. Okie dokie. We'll go on to the next one. Then Return to Unit was impressive in winning last time out at Nottingham over a mile on soft ground, winning by 3 3/4 lengths. He has been given an £8 penalty, so we'll need to improve in this stronger race. And I'm surprised that Ray Dawson or Jack Mitchell have not come up to Hamilton to ride. Forecast to be threes. I've said Spoken Truth ran a very nice race in fourth last time out at Ascot in a £30,000 Class 2 handicap, where the top-rated horse was 104. Crown Board was in second and has subsequently won a £50,000 handicap at Ascot by 3 3/4 lengths. I think in the two races prior to Ascot, he was a little unlucky in his runs, and on June the 5th at Epsom, he ran a brilliant race in third behind the very well handicapped Carlisle, who has subsequently won a listed race and a Group 3. The four forecasts, the ground is forecast to be good to soft, and that will suit. And this race is a drop in grade. Danny Tudhope is booked to ride, and the strong forecast pace will also suit. He's forecast to be tens. Don't know if somebody's priced something up there. So what time was that race?
7 o'clock.
It's at 7 o'clock, is it?
Yeah.
Spoken Truth is 9s. 9-1 Spoken Truth with I don't even know who they are, but yeah. So that they were my interest to talk about in the race, and I think that Spoken Truth at a reasonably big price. Well, I think after that run at Ascot, wouldn't be completely without a chance there. We were talking about the trainer not being in particularly great form, but all of a sudden he seems to be hitting the mark again. So he's had a few winners in the last couple of days. So yeah, that was my interest in there. I don't know if you've got anything different to point out in there.
Yeah, I think I'll probably have there. I was interested in Gallix, really.
Okay.
Jack Shannon taking it all the way up there in search of the ground, no doubt.
Yeah.
This horse's best form does come when there's a bit of giving the ground.
Yeah.
And last time at Sandown ran a pretty good race behind Danger Man, who we signalled as a danger, and Alcaraz, who was the main selection. I think both of those are relatively well handicapped.
Yeah.
Danger Man, especially at Sandown, he seems to have an affinity with that place.
Yeah.
Boyfriend was back in third.
Yeah.
He was second in the Glorious Goodwood handicap, so that form's good.
Yeah.
The horse in behind Gallix, Al Ali,
Won it.
has gone on and won at Glorious Goodwood and at Newmarket since. So he's well handicapped.
Yeah.
I thought Gallix to sort of split those is like pretty good form, really. And
9-1
getting its preferred conditions, it's relatively lightly raced. I mean, it's only had the 10 runs, so there's reason to believe it could still win a nice race or two. And like I say, obviously coming up here for the ground, I suspect Nicola Curry. She's not terrible. She's ridden 2 winners in the last 14 days.
Yeah.
From only 7 rides. So when she gets a chance, she's more than capable.
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought that was a little bit of interest. Although it did say El Matador was a non-runner here, and now it seems to say it's back in the race. So I don't know if you did want to talk about that for a minute, just in case it is running.
It's out. On my computer screen, it's out.
Yeah, I thought it was, but
so
don't know, something bizarre going on there. But
I'm quite happy about that, to be honest.
Well, yeah, sometimes if there's a few you like, it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Ideally, when the other ones you like are out and leaves you with one, because then there's no decision to be made. But
no.
Yeah, I can certainly see your case for the horses you've mentioned as well. A competitive handicap, no doubt. You'd probably want something at
a price,
at an okay price, yeah, to be getting involved. But a really good race for Hamilton and a couple of interests there, really.
Spoken Truth and Galax, both 9-1. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, you'd be surprised if one or both didn't run some sort of race there.
Yeah, I'd be quite surprised. Yeah, not completely convinced about this return to unit. I did a talk about it because ultimately it was very impressive last time out, but I think it's odd that they've sent Sean. I don't dislike Sean, but I think it's odd that he's going there to ride it rather than Jack Mitchell or Ray Dawson, who have both ridden the horse. Obviously, Ray won on it last time out. If he thought that this was some rocket ship, you would think that he would be on his way up there to ride it. And the second in command there would almost certainly be Jack. And then Sean does ride a little bit for Roger, but I mean, you know, he's probably third or fourth, maybe even fifth, you know. So I wasn't overly convinced by that, which is why I kind of thought that I wouldn't have minded finding something that could go well in the race at a bigger price, like you said. And I certainly think that you've pointed out a very valid point with Galax there. Form's obviously working out quite well. And I think that Spoken Truth at a big price as well ran a cracker in fourth there at Ascot. So there we go. Okay, well that's our Hamilton 7 o'clock, and well that's all I've got. So unless you've got something really good.
No, I'm pretty sure that's all I've got as well there.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Well, there we go then. That's the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody, and ciao, ciao.
Okay, so that just about wraps everything up for today. Thanks for listening to today's analysis. If you found it useful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss our daily race previews. For our exclusive early analysis before the markets open, visit gallopinggurus.com and become a member today. We mostly rely on people's kindness to donate for our hard work, so if you feel like you got something out of our analysis or out of our content, please don't hesitate to go to the gallopinggurus.com website and hit that donate button. No matter how big or small, we appreciate your support. Be lucky, everyone. Enjoy the racing, and we'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao for now.